So I was at Costco the other day and I looked down into my cart and I said, I've got bleach and I've got detergent. And it occurred to me that both of these items were considered too heavy to put on the conveyor belt. You know, if you go to Costco, they want you to leave the heavy stuff in the cart. They're not heavy for me, but they're heavy for the conveyor belt. And I was like, there are people that could use these to work out. And suddenly it hit me. This was my great inspiration. What this world needs is a magazine called Men and Cleaning Products. This obviously would be a woman's magazine, but they couldn't be really, really buff guys. They had to be like work in progress guys, because what every woman wants, they don't want a boyfriend, they want a project. So a man that they can fix. This was my idea, and I told this idea to the woman who was checking me out there, and she said, yeah, that's a great idea. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am fat, I am naked. If you can still see it, I kind of have, here, yes. I have these weird scars like I've been through some sort of a aboriginal initiation ritual. Just these 4 scars up here, which are mosquito bites from me working outside at night. And this is obviously a Naked Truth. And Naked Truth videos brought to you by Tricia Hirschberger are of course designed for us to be naked, not as a sexy thing, even though, come on, I've got some animal magnetism here, but not as a sexy thing, but as a method of being honest, open, and vulnerable. So yes, and if you want to see that, obviously go search Tricia Hirschberger's channel. I'm sure she does a better job of explaining this than I do. And just so you know, if you want to make your own, if you're under 18, get your parents' permission. And don't be putting sexy time videos on the internet unless you're, not on YouTube, because that's something. So our topic this week is what inspires you and what you're going to do about it. Let me tell you something about inspiration. You may have guessed, although not many have, that what inspires me generally comes from my environment. And to give a great example of this, there was one time I have a friend who is a filmmaker, not a wonderful filmmaker, not a well-known filmmaker, but he makes films. Particularly, he makes films involving his girlfriend. And he made his film. You can find it now on Amazon, Angel's Bounty. And I looked at his film and I said, there are a lot of great things about this film. There are a lot of problems about this film. And the problems generally stem from the fact that he had cut out scenes because I don't think he could afford to film them. So I said, how do we remedy this? It's very simple. We take his environment and build a film around it. So I said, okay, here's an idea. We're going to get a young couple. His girlfriend is obviously the star. My friend Nick is the man in this young couple. And they're moving into a new apartment. And this is next to the boyfriend's weird college friend. So he shows up. And then it's going to be a supernatural story. We're going to just have, there's a ghost involved. So I came up with this treatment, then I wrote it and I sent it to him, and he of course never read it. So there was the thing. I get my inspiration from this environment. I wrote a treatment for a film that involved 3 characters and was basically a zero budget film, because I don't like the idea of paying for a film if you're not going to pay your actors. So that was one of my things. If you need a budget, you should be paying your actors. That's always been my opinion. Anyway, and of course he didn't read it because he'd rather do stuff that he wrote himself, which I can respect. But yeah, see, there's the thing. My inspiration comes from my environment, and the greatest obstacle to me doing anything about it generally involves the people in my life not being interested. So what I do about my inspiration generally involves acting on it myself. And to give you an idea of the things I am inspired about, I have a webcomic. It's currently updating very late, although I'm trying to get it up to date. And I have 150 pages. I have 150 pages of ideas, jokes, quotes, and one-liners for this webcomic. I found the list online. Every time I find a list of things that are funny, I put them on there, and every time I use one of them, I delete it. And this is what I do. And because it's a webcomic, because the only person involved in getting this out there is me, I can get it out there. Now, like I say, at present, I think I'm about 32 days, 33 days behind on posting. And every day I don't post, I have to still write a comic, and I have to eventually post that comic. So I am eventually going to post comics for all those days. And I try to post, now I'm trying to post like 2 comics every day to catch up, or 4 comics every day, however many I write. But I try to post them every day. And there's my thing. What do I do about my inspiration is look internally. My inspiration comes from my environment, and my execution comes from within. That's just me, because I don't have a lot of people in my life that I can rely on. That's kind of always been it. So when I call people, last time I was doing a theater thing, or I was doing a film, and I called an actress, and the last minute she canceled on me. And you're like, okay, that's unprofessional. But then we never got that film produced, because the guy, there were other actors who apparently canceled. So it was like, people are very unreliable. So that's where it is. I get my inspiration from my environment, and I act on my inspiration by finding things I can do myself. Yeah. Okay, I'm Richard Neal. Peace out. If you like this video, please like, maybe leave me a comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, do whatever you do for that. And, just remember that life is full of inspiration, and what you do with it is, well, it's kind of up to you.